It's Cos Finger, baby.
Here we go. We are back at it again. GMZ here with another mock draft takeover. I left off on my 10th pick last time, who was Keontae George going to the Orlando Magic. So I'm going to start with my 9th pick from the University of Arkansas, Nick Smith Jr. going to the Pelicans. Smooth player, a lot of intensity, a lot of passion for the game. He did miss some time with an injury, so that's probably why a lot of people haven't gotten to see him. He is back. He has already played 2 games with Arkansas. He's just smooth. He's your prototypical point guard. He's fast. He gets rebounds. He's able to push the floor. He makes good reads. He doesn't force the issue a lot. He doesn't take a lot of threes, which is good because, you know, as a guard, you want to be able to get to the basket. You're going to have shooters on your team, so you want to be able to do things that, you know, you might not have a lot of drivers. So you want to be able to do that. He's good at setting people up. He's good at finding the alley-oop, good at the pick and roll. Pick and roll is not his best. He's a better isolation player than he is a pick and roll player, but he's able to do that well. I think he is today's guard. The guard who can go end to end as fast as anybody, who's strong, can make that mid-range shot, can make the long-range shot, you know, when the opportunity presents itself. So Nick Smith Jr. from the University of Arkansas going to the Pelicans. Cam Whitmore. I love Cam Whitmore's game. From the University of Villanova, Cam Whitmore is a strong, powerful player. He has smooth ability to get to the basket when he wants to. And he does the ultimate Villanova thing, which is play off 2 feet. And as you can see, guys like Mikal Bridges and Jalen Brunson, who, when they play off 2 feet, so effective. And even when I'm training players, I tell them 2 feet is the way to go because 2 feet allows you to make good decisions. Because off of 2 feet, you can still pass. You can still look for teammates. You can still have opportunities to score by using your pivot foot. So there's so many options when you play off 2 feet. And Cam Whitmore, out of everybody in the draft, he plays off 2 feet the best. And I think that's going to help him because he already has the strength to fight through contact, and now playing on 2 feet is going to be very dangerous. And I want to say, I think he's Villanova's best offensive prospect in a very, 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 very long time. I think of Corey Fisher. Corey Fisher was elite. He could score the ball, but Cam Whitmore is a different player. He's a different beast. What Kobe say, same animal, different beast. That's Cam Whitmore. Villanova keeps getting the same animals, but Cam Whitmore is a different beast. I have Cam Whitmore going to Portland with the 8th pick, but I feel like Portland is in a win-now situation, and I don't know if they actually draft Cam Whitmore. I believe they should trade this pick. Who they get for it and what they do with it, yeah, that's really up to them. But having the 8th pick when you still have Damian Lillard on your roster and you're trying to win, I don't think taking somebody with the 8th pick is where Portland needs to be. But Cam Whitmore going 8th to Portland. One of my favorite players in this whole draft is Maxwell Lewis from Pepperdine. Maxwell Lewis is a sophomore. He's about 6'9", 6'8", 6'9". Smooth stroke. It's just, when you watch him play, it's just like watching Paul George play. He wears the 24. He's tall, lanky. He dribbles the ball, makes good decisions. The only thing about him is he's unknown. And I think that's what's going to hurt his draft stock. I have him at 7th going to Toronto. I think he's just the opposite of Scotty Barnes. Like, Scotty Barnes' offensive game is coming along, as we can see, and he's looking amazing when he plays offense and his point forward position. And I think if you add Maxwell Lewis, who is of like Scotty Barnes' height and body type, right, with the length, with the long arms and just long torso, and he's just the offensive version, I think it will fit perfect. I think having those two guys on the court, especially with Toronto's length of Pascal Siakam and Chris Boucher and guys like that, I just think it's just important to get another guy with length, but who can really score. And his main job is to put the ball in the basket. He does get lost on defense sometimes, but that's just part of being young. And sometimes when you're so talented, you tend not to work on other things in your game because you're still trying to strengthen your strength. You're still trying to get that to be the strongest part of your game. So I get it. But defensively, he's going to have to get better, especially if he wants to reach that top 10, top 15 type of contract. I think he can do it. As you can see, he's very smooth. And I just look forward to seeing Maxwell Lewis in the NBA. Maybe 7 is a little too rich for people's taste, but for me, I think it's a perfect fit with Toronto. So if Toronto does have the 7th pick, I think they should go with Maxwell Lewis. They shocked us when they drafted Scotty Barnes. I won't be shocked again if they draft Maxwell Lewis. This is the most interesting prospect that I have probably looked into, only because he plays for Overtime Elite, which they play high school teams, but he's eligible for the NBA draft this year. He has a twin brother named Amen, right? They are, referred to as the Thompson twins. Who I am looking into today is Asur Thompson, number 0 for Overtime Elite City Reapers. Asur is an athletic freak. He can jump out the gym. And the best way to separate him from his twin brother is Asur is more of an all-around player. He does everything his team needs him to do. He's not an efficient shooter like his brother, like Amen. He's not that great of a shooter, but he does get assists. He does get you rebounds. He does play a whole lot of defense, and he's smart. I think that's the one thing about Asur Thompson's game, is that he is very smart, and sometimes it doesn't show because he makes it look very, very, very easy. But the plays he does make are very smart plays. He doesn't force a whole lot. He knows he can get away with certain things in this league, but I think their work ethic and the people that they have around them will allow them to rise up to that occasion when they get to the NBA. I think watching on YouTube and watching some of the videos that Overtime Elite puts out about their players, and I know it's controlled because it's Overtime Elite putting out Overtime Elite content, but it just shows the Thompson twins' work ethic. Like, they're always in the gym. Like, it was never a moment like they show the time and they show them in the gym, and it's like, wow, like these kids are dedicated to the game of basketball, and they are very, very good at the game of basketball at a young age. Not sure how old Amen and Asur are, but Asur is 6'7", around 6'6", 6'7". Great passer, heady player. I have him going to the Washington Wizards. I think Washington needs a point guard, and personally, I think getting rid of Bradley Beal might be a thing that needs to happen, just so that the other players on the team can kind of find a rhythm with each other and know, like, okay, this might be the team for the future, and not just always playing on pins and needles. Or is Bradley Beal going to get traded? Bradley Beal going to get traded? Am I going to get traded? So I think adding Asur, somebody who is a top 5 talent, adding him to a team like the Wizards, I think that's just beneficial to a team who's really kind of in a lost space in terms of what they should be doing as an organization. So Asur Thompson from Overtime Elite, 6th pick, going to the Washington Wizards.